what's going on, YouTubers, gamers and hobbyists? Welcome to this week's episode of P&Q, my question and answer series, where you get to ask me questions or put questions or comments to me, and I respond the following week. You can do this one of 4 ways currently, and the 4th way is becoming more prevalent. Of course, you can put your comment or question down below in that comment section there, the most common way. Or, if you feel so inclined, you can send me an email at miniwarzone@gmail.com. I always leave a link in the video description below. That will also give you an anonymous response, so I will never reveal who sent the question. Or, if you make a video series yourself, or just make a video, one-off video yourself, and you ask a question in it, and I pick it up, and I like it, and I can answer it, then I'll answer that here as well. 4th way, in person. If you meet me in person and ask me a question, obviously I answer it there and then. But I will, if I think it's a good question, I'll answer that here as well. And I've got one of those this week, baby. I've got one. Put it in person. I have an in-person question. Person question, yeah. I don't have any emails this week, so it's just video questions. The one in-person question, and then the comments or questions that you left from last week's video. So I'll start with the video questions, just because that's the way it's printed here on my sheet. And the first one comes from the Nerd Life on his Q&A. Richard asks, perfect getaway. Would it be out in the country, wooded areas, at the beach, or what? What is your absolute perfect getaway? Well, right now, this second moment in time, this is how I'm going to answer it. It would be in the country, because as you'll see in a moment, that's where I would like to live. Yes, I just any wooded area really, that would be fine as well. I particularly like that getaway that you showed on your video, Richard. That looks like an amazing place with the lake and everything. Just looks amazing, so amazing. That'd be my perfect getaway, something like that. So I already live in the country though, or by the sea or wherever. Then my perfect getaway would probably be something like go to Adepticon for a couple of days and stay in a hotel there and just hang out with my buddies, people that I've always wanted to meet in person from all over. And yeah, I'd like to see you all in person, and just generally nerd out for a couple of days. Be totally nerdy. Yeah, that'd be a perfect getaway for me as well. Kristen asks on the same video, so summer is coming and we'd like to do things with kids on the channel. What kinds of family fun would you like to see on family fun sessions? Can't give any specifics, but I don't know, just generally good to get you all involved, I suppose. Like, all of you, if you're all willing, of course, that is. I don't know. I'm kind of a typical dad type figure, and I'd say something stupid like who can clean the fastest or something like that, and then video that. I don't know. Other than that, I don't have any ideas really on that. It's been a long time since I've had to think of stuff like that. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Sorry I couldn't be any more help for you. Sorry about that. The next video question, or next 2 video questions, actually come from myself. Now let me just explain. I answer my own Q&S question. Okay, I do that. But I forgot last week, or I missed it, or whatever. I don't know. So whenever I miss one of your questions, don't take it personally, because I do it to myself as well. Anyway, first one, which was from a while ago. So I asked, what was the first miniature you ever painted? Well, for me, the first miniature I ever painted was a Citadel wizard. He didn't come in my box. I bought a box of Citadel miniatures, like, I don't know, like Hero box or something like that. But he wasn't one of those. He was an extra one I bought at my local hobby shop, which doesn't exist anymore because it was such a long time ago. the shop, just doesn't. It's not there anymore. It's no longer there. But it was a wizard, and I happened to have a pot of Humbrol paint. Those horrible, oil-based enamel paint things that you could paint your nails with, and it wouldn't never come off. Really bright red, totally unsuitable for painting miniatures. But I painted the robes of him with that. I glooped it on, didn't even thin it down. It just looked atrocious, but I was quite chuffed with it. And when we went to play D&D the following week, or whenever it was, I was like, yes, I got a painted miniature. Don't need this bare metal rubbish anymore. Mine's the real deal. But inside I was thinking, I wished I'd never painted it. I didn't even bother priming it though, so it might have been easy to chip off. I don't know. I like primer. What do you mean prime? What's that all about? I have no idea. And of course, the mold lines or whatever flash was always left on. I back then I knew no different. It was a horrible, hideous paint job. I suppose it was about the same sort of red a bit brighter red than the red on my cup. Yeah. My friend Rob, who we used to play D&D with, he was the master painter. He was the one that he kind of took over the painting of everybody's miniatures, because he was just so good at it. And this was before the times of washes and technical paints. He'd just make his own. He was just totally phenomenal. As they used to say, he was mustard. He was absolutely brilliant. And I used to commission him to paint my miniatures, like we all did, offer him some pocket money or whatever, and he would do it. He'd do a brilliant job as well, and quite quickly too. So yes, that was my first miniature. It was a wizard for my Dungeons and Dragons exploits back when I was about 13 years old, I suppose. And I'm 46 now. So 33 years ago, a long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. Anyway, last week's question I asked, would you prefer to live in the country or the city? Give at least a couple of reasons why. Well, for me, I would rather live in the countryside every time. That said, a couple of you said by the sea, and I'm fine with that as well, because it's the same kind of feel. Not quite, but excuse me. Same kind of feel. The peace, the serenity. So I'd want to live in the countryside for the peacefulness, to be near nature, and because it's healthier for you. The air is just healthier, and I need all the help I can get in that department, to be honest with you. So a healthy environment will do me every time. That, like I say though, a couple of you said they'd rather live by the sea, and that's fine too. So you could do that. We're hoping to live by the sea in the future ourselves, so obviously I'm fine with that. So yeah, I don't know if you can hear that car that just went by. See, you wouldn't have any of that rubbish in the country. I'd buy up a load of stuff, a whole ton of stuff, take it with me out there, hobby related, and then I'd just top it up now and again on the internet, and they can just deliver it to my door. Once in a while, every now and again, I will take a road trip to the nearest gaming store, Games Workshop, wherever it may be. Yeah. But I do get most things from the internet anyway, when they deliver. Okay, let's move on. A video question from Kuja and Kiwi on their Q&A series. Kuja asks, what size do I reckon Mortarion will be? Well, I reckon he'll probably be along the lines of Magnus the Red. That's what I think. It depends on how he's depicted, I suppose, what his sculpt will consist of. But I believe he'll be about that size. But who can say? Kiwi asks, how would you guys like to see an apartment tour or flat tour? So he's asking, would I like to see where they live, I suppose, or where they hobby, or whatever. Yeah, I would love to. I'm always curious about that. I'm quite a nosy type of person. Yeah, I like to see where people live and hobby and whatever. Gives me more of a, I don't know, makes me feel like I know you better. So yeah, definitely, for sure. Green Stuff Games asks. Now, Green Stuff Games has just started a Q&A series called The Q&A. That's taking video questions, such as the ones I ask. And the question that comes from this is, what do you like to listen to whilst you're building or painting? Top 3 if possible. That's tricky for me, because the only thing I listen to when I'm building or painting is YouTube. That's quite a generalistic term, I know, but I'll specify further. The only thing I listen to is hobby related YouTube, long videos. Paint along videos are my favourite. Failing that, I'll give you my top 3. My top 3 personally is Painting with Jay from Mini War Gamer Jay's channel. Yeah. I don't know if it necessarily know if it's my top 3, but it's just 3 that comes to my head. The tabletop wargamers, they do a hangout chat thing where you just paint and hang out. That's 2. And I did participate in it once, but I prefer to just listen to other people. And the other one is actually I enjoy watching Stephen over at the Spider's Web, Spider666, does the brilliant Dungeons and Dragons, records the sessions of the Dungeons and Dragons, and I like putting that on, because that's like a good hour as well, and I enjoy watching that whilst I'm building up. Only other things I like watching whilst I'm building and painting are tutorials, particularly if it's to do with what I am actually building or painting. So yeah, or anything else that comes to, if sometimes I'll put on some general ramble or rant about something that's quite funny. I used to enjoy putting on TLR Wargaming's rants about things. I thought it was quite funny, just amusing to put it in the background. And I used to enjoy that. But yeah, I've given at least 3, probably more there. There's a video question here from Methos, Wolfbrother Methos, on his Wolfbrother Wednesday. Although it's supposed to tag people, and so I'm just picking up the question here. It says, what are your 8th edition goals? My goals for 8th edition, I suppose, would be to get my ass in gear and get some battle reports filmed, I suppose. But I suppose my immediate goals would be to play test the rules before I embark upon things like that. Situations of the rules. Yeah, like, I don't know, we'll take the new Necrons and their new like reanimation protocols and how that fares against, I don't know, Tyranids and their new melee awesomeness, things like that. See if it pans out how I want it to. Things like that, really. Now, I had a question in person a couple of days ago. It's from someone asking me, what would you say, he said to me, so what would you say is the ideal setup for doing filming YouTube from home? Now, this person, I have to say, is not a wargamer or anything like that, but they are a collector, so they collect stuff. And obviously they want to film it and talk about it. So it depends on what equipment you've got to start with. So what computer you've got. Do you have a PC? Do you have a Mac? If you've got a Mac or a good PC, you probably don't need a lot more than that. If you've got a phone with a good camera on, you probably won't need anything more than that. To be honest, that's probably all you need, to be fair. Maybe work out, get some sort of tripod or phone holder or selfie stick or something. But you honestly don't really need any more than that. Depends how professional you want to come across. If it's kind of like me and my channel, I want to be as professional as I can, but at the same time it's my hobby and I enjoy, I want to do it for fun. If it's not fun, I won't do it anymore, that kind of thing. So if it gives you enjoyment and pleasure, then by all means do what you want. If you want to film everything in 360p, go for it, go nuts. If you want to film everything in 1080p, again, do what you need to do. But yeah, film for yourself, primarily. Film what you enjoy filming and talk about what you enjoy talking about, because then your enthusiasm will come across, people latch onto that, and they'll subscribe. That was my advice. So a low cost startup I would recommend. Right, now I'm onto the comments that were left from last week, starting with Idic Beer 40k. He says, haha, thanks for the answer. What is the scariest horror film you have seen? Well, scariest horror film I've ever seen was a long time ago, so I probably wouldn't find it scary now, but it was A Nightmare on Elm Street. It was like when it first came out on video, back in the video days. Do you remember videos? Does anybody here remember videos? I got that. I was 17. I watched that and it scared the crap out of me. It really did. So that's probably the scariest film I've ever seen. But if I was to watch it now, I probably would laugh at it. I mean, I watched Friday the 13th about 10 years ago and I thought what a load of rubbish it was, didn't scary at all. So yeah, but that's a good question though, huh? Super Wargamer says, LMAO, a saddle, that would look so damn cool. Talking about the Carnifex, how I would travel. Preferred method of travel, it would be my Carnifex, and I would have a saddle on him. And I would terrorise everybody, and they'd get out of my way. I'd be on my Carnifex. My Carnifex would be, I don't know, making whatever noises Carnifexes make. I don't actually know. That'd be something you could do, Games Workshop. Let us know what sound the things make. What sound do orcs make? What sound do Necrons make? What sound do Tyranids make? That kind of thing. That'd be kind of cool. Anyway, next is Rewind Remix. Just says, "Hey, amazing video." Drake's War Channel replies to him and says, "He is amazing. Very true." Thank you. Frost and Fists. Fantastic episode as always, my brother. In addition to my Wolfbrother Wednesday question, I want to ask you about your music once again. I've been jamming out to your CD quite a bit in the car, and I'd like to know which songs are your favourite and why. Much love to the fam as always, my brother, Wolfbrother Methos. That is an awesome question. That really is. I'm going to put my questions to one side and pick up the copy of the CD to which you are referring, so I can look on the back just to remind myself what songs are on the CD, because there were a lot of songs and tracks actually, but you probably know, but they didn't make it onto the CD for various reasons. And there were some really great tracks that never made it, onto the CD, which is a shame, because some of them are really, really good, I felt personally. But I'm going to look at these here. So, alright, okay, well, my personal favourite that's on this CD is the song 6 Times Lucky, and the reason is because that is the first song I actually wrote all of. I wrote all of that, apart from the lead guitar bit at the beginning and the instrumental, the lead guitar instrument. I just said basically to Pietra, that's what I used to call him, the guitarist. It's Polish. It's actually pronounced. His name is actually pronounced Pietrek, but I always call him Pietra because that's the way it's written. Pietra. I should say, like, Pietra, just go nuts on that bit. Just do what you want to do until you have to read it. But I wrote everything else: the bass, drum, and the lyrics, and the structure, and tempo, and so on. It was all me. And that song is actually. I have to go back. So this is the band Roadhouse Band. I actually joined a band called the Southpaw Jinx originally when I came out of my sort of music training, my music tutoring or whatever you call it, and I happened to be the 6th bass player that they had in their lineup for various reasons. So I wrote a song about that. I did it like a rough demo. They were quite impressed anyway, and they asked me to join the band, and I did for a little while. They split up over the old cliche musical differences after a short time of me joining. Wasn't nothing to do with me, I promise. And but anyway, what was left was myself and the drummer. We then formed Roadhouse Bound and kept the song. It was like one of the first songs we kind of wrote and polished up for playing and practicing and so on. And I can remember from looking at this, Mortis Joint was the second song we wrote, and that was written. The drummer wrote that. I wrote the bass line. I wrote the bass lines for all of them actually. But the drummer obviously did the drums. The guitarist had input on that one as well, and we all had input in it. I also wrote "Keeping It in the Shade" and "King for a Day." I think you said your favourite one was "Republic of Sound." That was entirely written by Pietrek. Apart from the bass, he said, I want you to do bass, you do what you think. That's the way he used to talk. I'm not taking the mickey out of him if he ever sees this, because he's still doing his own musical projects now, and yeah. So yeah, 6 Times Lucky is my favourite song. So yeah, because it was the first song I wrote, and it was about me being the 6th bass player in the other band, which was the Southpaw Jinx. King for a Day I enjoyed because I just wanted a short, snappy, simple song, just to put in the mix. Midnight Cowboy I actually wrote about my father. That was the song I wrote about my father. And it's good stuff, man. I mean, I wish we could have put more, or stuck around and done a second CD. We could have easily filled another album, maybe 2 or 3, I expect. Anyway, excuse me, my phone is going. Sorry about that. That was actually a bit of an emergency. My wife, bless her, she lost the key for her, because at the moment she's in charge of this office, and at the moment for this week she's the only one there, and she lost the key for it and she couldn't find it. So I'm sure I put it on the desk to someone, but she didn't. I walked around the whole office via the phone, obviously. Retraced her steps, which is what you got to do. She was panicking. Oh, I can't come home tonight and leave it. So I was like, oh, why don't you contact so-and-so who's got a spare key? Oh, they're away, and this, that, and the other. Yeah, it was a bit like, so we retraced her steps. She's found the key. She'd actually left it in the door, which is something she doesn't normally do. So, yeah, it had to be them because she's the only one there. So, anyway, where were we? Sorry about that. That was a funny little interjection, wasn't it? But yes, I won't ramble on too much more about that. Keeping it in the shade. 6 Times as Lucky is my favourite song on here. It actually, as a side note, it did actually get played on local radio once or twice. 6 Times Lucky. Yeah. On rock radio. So yeah, anyway, thank you for your question. That was absolutely a phenomenal question to answer. I love talking about the olden days. Put the CD aside now. And we can get on with some other goodness. And we're on to Drake's War Channel. Says, hey Pete, cheers. Great video as always. I have begun to play Team Yankee with 6mm micro armor. Okay. I was just about to say, he puts Team Yankee as 15mm. Because I was going to say, I thought it was the same. It's like Flames of War, isn't it? But more modern. Team Yankee is 15mm 1985 era, but I have added scenarios and units that are set in 2017 as well. When I went to get some unit cards copied at a local shop, the people there were suspicious that I was a radical warmonger of some sort. My question is, do you think playing modern war games is somehow crossing a line between work and play? No, not at all. No, game is a game is a game. No, not at all. I know what you mean though about people in the shop acting strange. I've had that kind of thing from my local print shop before. I can remember like when they're printing stuff off me in the past and just shaking their head thinking, okay, that's what he wants printed. But yeah, in fact, years ago is a side story. I'm talking about 25 years ago, maybe. It's quite a long time anyway. I used to play Vampire a lot as a role-playing game, and I used to get a lot of stuff photocopied off of that. And they thought I was some sort of devil worshipper in my local. It's like a news agency where they used to do the photocopying. And they thought I was some kind of devil worshipper. There's all this like demonic stuff and vampiric stuff on these sheets, and they kind of viewed me as some kind of weirdo. But as I said, it's just a game. It's a game. It is. It doesn't matter what it is or when it's based. It's just a game, and why not? So no, I don't think it crosses the line. Green stuff. Oh, green stuff games. Green Stuff Games says, hey, so when, if ever, will we see a collaboration with Mini Warzone and Fantabulous Beasties? Right, I better explain at this point. Okay, I need to explain myself. Fantabulous Beasties. As some of you know, my wife and I are actually a lord and lady. We are. Obviously, my wife social circle has lady friends that are ladies. And two of them, Lady Parker and Lady Cooper, although I call Lady Parker by her first name because she's a friend of my wife's, and she calls her Parky. Lady Parker just calls her Parky, and Coopsy, and they call her Bexy. It's just strange. The three of them gel like you wouldn't believe. And I think it was when they went to Prague. They had such a scream. And they just sat down one day and said, while they were over there, you know, we should do this, like vlog this and put it on YouTube or something, just for a laugh. So that's what they started doing. Now I have to say, I haven't promoted their channel, so it's the channel for the three of them. I haven't promoted their channel on here yet, although I will do very soon. And I will put a link in the video description below. But before you go over there, bear in mind it's got nothing to do with wargaming, and it's a bit more adult entertainment based. So there's a lot of innuendo and a little bit of swearing and stuff. Not heavy, but you know, it's literally three ladies having fun, and they have a great time, and they're really down to earth people, and it's just so awesome. They're actually Scottish ladies of Scottish lands, whereas my wife is the English lady. So yeah, but they gel well. They gel really well. But yeah, they are actually three ladies, and it's about their antics. And as for a collaboration, no, I'm not sure if it would work. Maybe, possibly, one day. Could be fun to get us all playing Zombicide or something. I'm sure we could come up with some stuff like that, but I don't know if it would be good viewing for this channel. Probably be better viewing for their channel. I don't know. You know, I'd have to give it some serious thought, and they would too, to be honest. But yeah, they're a new channel, the Fantabulous Beasties, because that's, you know, I think I said to them, why don't you call yourselves that? You know, it's like, because, you know, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them come out. I said, well, you're like Fantabulous Beasties, and you're going all over the world and doing stuff in different places and so on. So Fantabulous Beasties and Where to Find Them, just follow their vlogs, their videos. I'll leave a link in the video description below. They're just starting out, and you know, they're just having fun on YouTube, just a laugh. Anyway, next up is Tabletop Banter, who says, love the Predator reference there. So on a similar topic, what was your favourite Alien film? For me, it's a toss-up between Alien and Aliens. Haha. For me, it's a toss-up between Aliens and Alien 3. Now, I think personally that Aliens is a better movie than Alien 3, but Alien 3 was the last movie I ever got to watch with my father before he passed. So for me, that's got a lot of good memory with it, because, you know, he was having a good day that day. He died of cancer a long time ago now, but that was the last movie we got to sit down and watch together. You know, we just, you know, the father-son day, you know, it was good. So for me, I'm going to say Alien 3. And the last question, because I've got two sheets here, one is kind of duplicated. It's from Super Wargamer. It says, did you use a hula hoop to help build the Nead Demon? And you are referring, my friend, if I could pick it up, to this one. No, I didn't use a hula hoop. I ate it. No. No, I didn't. I just held it for a very long time. Yeah. But I see how helpful that, you know, the hula hoop was for you there. So, yeah. But that's it for this week. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much for putting your questions and comments to me. Keep them coming. Really awesome stuff. I'll try not to forget my Q&S next week. Bad me. And remember, all brushes lead to war, and I will see you on the next video. Bye for now, folks. Bye-bye.